Hey, what's up everybody? Zion over here from Nintendo Life, and today we're bringing you this quick bit of news that Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town, or more Friends of Mineral Town from the Game Boy Advance, is getting a remake on the Nintendo Switch later this fall. And it's really crazy because I was just talking with one of our other editors, Austin, at E3, about how Natsume or Xseed or Marvelous or whoever should just really go back and remake one of the original Harvest Moon games. Even if they would have just spruced up some of the sprites. With the popularity of Stardew, I'm surprised it's taken them this long to do something like this. So just why not? And then here we are a couple weeks later, a remake gets announced. I guess I probably should have talked with Austin about Mother 3 also. And before I forget, this news comes to us from the most recent issue of Famitsu magazine. We don't really know a ton about this remake so far. One thing that we do know is that it is being made by Marvelous, which is the original developer of some of the original Harvest Moon games, one of which being Friends of Mineral Town and more Friends of Mineral Town. They are also the developers of Story of Seasons, so with that we know that the game's at least in good hands. Marvelous has also stated that the game's going to be kind of a mix between Friends of Mineral Town and more Friends of Mineral Town. So based on if you choose to be a boy or a girl, I imagine that the story and events that take place around that will happen differently. And now, unfortunately, I can't read Japanese, so I really don't know what else is going on in this article here, but a few other things that we can derive just from this is that we can see there's a bunch of new character art. A few of the different characters have just been completely revamped. The main characters seem pretty similar to their original designs, but if you on the right there, you can see from left to right, there's Potpourri, Karen, I'm assuming that's Rick and Cliff, and I'm going based just entirely on their looks. But it's nice to see that they've all been given sort of a new splash of paint, considering the original games came out in 2002, 2003, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago? And then right next to the main characters, there's two other characters that are wearing yellow hoodies. I don't know if they're going to be customizable characters or someone new for the story, or, I mean, maybe I'm overthinking this and maybe they're just characters that belong in the Famitsu universe, like, of their magazine. I don't know. Maybe if I read Japanese or had a higher quality scan of this issue or even just subscribed to Famitsu, maybe I'd have an answer for you, but I don't. But then also way off in the right corner, you can see two silhouettes of two characters as well. So I don't know if they're going to be new, like, marriage candidates maybe. Maybe they're new just components to the story. It's just another one of those situations where we're just going to have to wait and find out. You can also tell from the screenshots that everything looks really nice and clean. Everything has been completely redone. There's tons of new character models. Obviously, the original game was 2D. I know it was heavily based on Back to Nature and Harvest Moon 64, but it's nice to see this game get the attention that it really deserves. I sunk so many hours into this game, and not to ramble about, my past experiences. Everyone knows I do that enough, but I literally, before I had internet at my house, I used to go to the library and print out documents of like character bios, like what their favorite items were, different ways to develop new crops, like different things to find in the mine, or like how deep you had to go to find things in the mine. I was obsessed with that game, and I probably won't have the same time to throw into it these days as I did back then, but I'm so stoked for this game. And if you played any iterations of this game back in the day, you should drop a comment down below and let me know who you married, because I married Karen, and the internet told me that this was her favorite, so every day I fed her wine. And I didn't realize that that was a problem. Like I said, the internet just said it was okay, so I was just like, Karen's cool, yeah. I'm also hoping this game gets some real quality of life updates. Hopefully they'll have learned a thing or two from all the success that Stardew Valley's had, and, all of the work that they've put into Story of Seasons as well. Hopefully that's given them some new inspiration or new ways of thinking how to do things with this game. One final thing to bring up is this game's release date. So far, it's been announced that it's going to be released on October 17th in Japan, but no release date has been announced for the West. So we're not sure if Marvelous is going to publish it themselves, or maybe Natsume is going to get their hands back on this title. Natsume does still own the rights to the Harvest Moon name in the West, but they've sort of cut ties with Marvelous and have started publishing their own games in the style of Harvest Moon, but they're just not the same. That charm just isn't there. If it doesn't get published by Natsume, it'll probably get published by Marvelous, and they'll probably go with the Story of Seasons name, or maybe they'll go with the Japanese name, Farm Story. Or maybe they'll even just call it Friends of Mineral Town. But anyways, those are just my opinions. Feel free to let us know in the comments down below what you think about this new remake. Did you ever play any of the top-down Harvest Moons back in the day, like Back to Nature, Harvest Moon 64, any of the Game Boy ones, or even the super expensive Super Nintendo one? Let us know, and let us know if you're excited about this remake as well. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you present a blue feather to that dear old like button, subscribe to Nintendo Life, and ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we release new videos. Thank you all so much for listening to me talk about Harvest Moon for the past however many minutes. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life, and we'll see you next time. Maybe Karen was just a collector of wines. You don't actually know that she was drinking a bottle a day.